we tend to forget sometimes as married couples that we need to have sex. Like, we tend to forget that a lot. I entered marriage thinking that everything is going to be sweet and rosy, we live in our lives, enjoying, but I've come to realize that it's not all I have painted it to be. Hey lovelies, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to yet another insightful video. My name is Gift. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back. To my new subscribers, please don't make it your last. Please don't make it your last. We have so much fun over here, so you might want to consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed. Like the video, share the video, comment, and give this video a huge thumbs up. So let's just get straight into the video. So as the title suggests, I'll be sharing things I wish I knew before I got married. I actually forgot that I mentioned I was going to film this video, but a sweet subscriber left a comment in one of my videos and reminded me that I haven't dropped this video. So I just thought to film this video for you guys, and these are my personal experiences, these are things that I wish I knew. I'm not saying that I did not prepare for marriage. I did prepare for marriage, but you guys, you can never be too prepared. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So the first point I have on my book, if you're wondering why I'm looking down, I have my little notepad over here, and let's just get straight into the video. So the first point I have here is marriage is a continuous learning process. Like, you don't just go into marriage thinking that, okay, I love you will do. I love you is not enough. Like, marriage is a continuous process. You learn every day. Like, you learn every single day. You get to know more about your partner because now you are living together. You get to see sides that you most likely did not see when you were dating or when you were courting. And for lack of better word, in summary, what I'm trying to say is we don't know how to be married. Like, we go into marriage with so much expectations. We go into marriage hoping that things will be different. Most people are unhappy and they go into marriage thinking that they will find happiness in marriage. Most people go into marriage for the sole purpose of just being with someone because they don't want to be lonely. Most people go into marriage for different reasons, but I've come to a conclusion that we actually don't really know how to be married because it's a continuous learning process. Nobody tells you how to do it. Nobody tells you what to do. You learn everything by yourself in your home. Like, I feel like no matter how much people try to lecture you about marriage, I still feel like you get to learn by yourself, and you get to experience it by yourself. I went through counseling before I got married. Myself and my husband, we went through counseling before we got married, and we learned a lot from counseling. Like, I love the fact that we had that experience. We learned a lot. It made me understand a lot. Like, even till today, we still reference things to the classes that we had during counseling, and that was a very good insight for us getting into marriage. And like I said earlier, marriage is a learning process. Like, I entered marriage thinking that everything is going to be sweet and rosy, we live in our lives, enjoying, but I've come to realize that it's not all I have painted it to be, and I am learning and working towards making my marriage a better one. So that's the first point. The second point I have here is hard times are normal. Embrace it as part of the experience. Embrace it as part of the process. Embrace it as part of the learning process. And this is one thing that I did not really understand. Like, for me that got married young, I just had these expectations. I had like this mind, if we have an issue, we would just talk about it and that's it. But no, most times some issues you don't get to talk about some issues immediately. You give it time so that you don't say things that you would regret. And I've come to realize that it's actually okay to pass through hard times, and it's part of the process, it's part of learning, it's part of growing, it's part of loving, it's part of intimacy. Yes, it is part of coming together, and that's something I wish I knew before marriage. So the next point I have here is you have to be intentional. Oh my God. This point, I feel I should have made this point number one. You have to be intentional. Marriage is not a place that you just come in for the fun of it, or you just come in because someone else got married and you want to get married, or you just come in because you feel like you want to be married. You have to be intentional about everything. The way you talk about your spouse to people, the way you represent your spouse, the way you talk about your home, things you talk about to people, how you pass information to people. You have to be intentional about every single thing. And this also boils down to having date nights, spending time together, cuddling. Yes, there are times that you just want to just cuddle and watch a movie with your partner, and these are things that you have to be intentional about. Know your partner's love language, communicate with your body language, let the partner see that you are actually intentional about the marriage. And this also goes down to saying that you make what you want out of your marriage. Like, you literally, you make what you want, you prioritize what you want, and if you want your marriage to be a success, you have to be intentional about it. Like, I always use the word intentional, but it did not really hit me before I got married till after I got married, and it just made me realize that this journey is a continuous learning process. Like, we learn every day. Like I said, nobody is perfect, no marriage is perfect, but we aim towards perfection. And in that, we have to be intentional about everything, about our home, our child's school, our partner, paying attention to their emotions, to their thoughts, listening to them when they are speaking. This one is even very, very important. Being there for them, be present for them when they need you. And this is something that I also learned in marriage, and I wish someone had given me a heads up before I got married. But like I said, we learn every day, and marriage is a continuous learning process. You don't know it all, you don't have to know it all, but once you are in it, you keep learning and you keep learning. So the next point I have here is love is not enough. Yes. You know that feeling you feel on your wedding day, standing in front of your partner saying I do, your first dance, you know that butterfly in your tummy? You guys, love is not enough. It goes beyond that. Marriage goes beyond how you feel. Marriage goes beyond all the butterflies in your tummy. Marriage comes with so much work, and sometimes love will not be enough. There are times that you don't even love your partner. There are times that your partner can be so annoying to you that you don't love your partner. But what keeps the marriage going is the foundation. What keeps the marriage going is what you've built together. That's why you hear people say we fell out of love, we're still good friends, but we're not in love anymore. That just shows you that it's not all about love in the marriage. Love is not just enough. It goes beyond loving yourself. You have to be committed. You have to submit. There are a lot of things that goes into marriage, and if you hide under the canopy of I love you, he loves me, he will not hurt me, he will not say this to me because he loves me. No, we have to come to a realization that we're bound to have issues. We're bound to face challenges, that love will be the last thing on your mind. Like, you will not even remember that I love this person. But like I said, I always come back to being intentional. Like, when I feel like love is not enough for me, I just go back to being intentional. I just go back to doing things that I want to do for my partner. I go back to being there for my partner, and somehow we find a way to get back to where we were. So it's very okay if you are in your marriage and you don't feel like love is enough. You just need to retrace your step back to the moments where you felt like nothing else mattered. And if you can retrace your step back, then I'm very sure that you will do really, really well. So this is something that I wish I knew, but I learned in marriage. So the last point I have here is sex is more important than you think. When I was writing this point down, I made this point my final point because we tend to forget sometimes as married couples that we need to have sex. Like, we tend to forget that a lot, especially when we have like responsibilities, we have so many things we are doing. We tend to forget that we have to be intimate, and sometimes intimacy does not mean sex, don't get me wrong. We forget that, and trust me, I feel like it's just the devil trying to bring us apart, or trying to bring the couple apart, because when you are dating someone, you have this urge of wanting to be with the person, wanting to be intimate with the person, but as soon as you get married, you can, maybe in a month, you might most likely have sex just once, and it's not like you don't want to, but there's just something keeping you apart from having sex. But I've come to tell you that sex is very important in your marriage. In fact, during counseling, they made us realize that sex is one of the most it's one of the most important pillars of a marriage, like being present for your spouse, being there for your spouse when they need you, and enjoying the moment. It's not about having sex because the other person wants to. It's about enjoying the moment, being in the same space with this person, being intimate with this person. It is a lot, and you guys know the spiritual aspect of being together. When you come together as one, you guys know how strong it is. And I feel like the devil tries sometimes to just, separate spouse and just make them feel like they're not attracted to themselves. But I've come to tell you that sex is actually more than what we think. And if you pay more attention to your spouse, you will know that, or you would see that you are most likely lacking when it comes to being sexual with your partner. So yeah, I've come to the end of today's video. I did enjoy filming this video, and these are the things I wish I knew. These are the things I wish someone had told me before I got into marriage. Let me know what you think about this point, and if you are married, let me know what you also think. What are the things you wish you knew before you got married, or what are the things you wish someone had told you before you got married? So I'll end the video here. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.